Welcome into another edition of Berg is the Word. I'm your host, Mark Bergin. And this afternoon, it's Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and Tuesday morning quarterback this a little bit here. I just don't understand the NFL's infatuation with Giants quarterback Daniel Jones after one game, after one win. And I'm going to break this down for you. He was 23 of 36 passing, 336 yards through the air. He accounted for 4 touchdowns. I want you to think about this really, really quickly. If Tampa Bay Buccaneers kicker Matt Gay makes a 34-yard field goal to win the game, the Giants won 32-31. If the Buccaneers quarterback makes a very makeable field goal, are we talking about Daniel Jones' debut in the same way? I think it's just a storyline that many pundits are gravitating towards because a lot of the young quarterbacks are either injured, hurt, or not playing well. What do I mean by this? Look at a guy like Sam Darnold, who has mono and is out with mono, and the fact that Baker Mayfield and the Browns are struggling, especially considering the fact that the Browns have a difficult schedule moving forward and coming up. I don't understand what this is with Daniel Jones and all of these next-gen stats that, he's, almost as fast as Lamar Jackson. It was an impressive debut, no doubt, and he was able to get the Giants the lead for good in the fourth quarter, leading the Giants to an 18-point comeback, the Giants' largest comeback since 1970. I certainly respect all of these things. They're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're talking about a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team a season ago that fired their defensive coordinator, Mike Smith, mid-season. They got the second most points in 2018. So they brought in defensive coordinator Todd Bowles for the start of this season. We're talking about a team that allowed 6 touchdown passes in one half against Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. And we're seeing how Trubisky is struggling mightily as the Bears quarterback this season. Where was the infatuation with Trubisky a year ago when he has 6 touchdown passes against this team? And now Daniel Jones scores 4 in a one-game sample size, and you want to anoint him the king of New York and the quarterback of the New York Giants for the next 15 years as he takes over for Eli Manning? It seriously makes no sense to me. And it just shows you how quickly media members will flip-flop on a guy, on Daniel Jones, who was the 6th overall pick, and think about all the criticism that he received when he was the number 6 overall pick out of Duke when the Giants drafted him in the first place. And it just shows the complete hypocrisy of this league right now. And I think it stems back to the fact that he's a new figure. He's a new quarterback. He's in the largest media market in the world. And he played very well in his debut, no doubt. I'm not doubting that. But it's a one-game sample size. Moving forward, the Giants have next weekend, they have the Redskins. They should win that game, even without running back Saquon Barkley. That's going to be another key to see how the Giants fare without their star running back. But then after the Redskins, they've got the Vikings. Then they play on the road against the New England Patriots in Foxborough as well. Good luck to Daniel Jones. I understand that he's a rookie. He's probably going to struggle, and it seems to be his team moving forward. I'm not faulting the Giants for moving to him and benching Eli Manning. I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is just don't overanalyze a one-game sample size against a defense in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that really isn't that good. 2 stats for you. The Buccaneers gave up the second most amount of points in the league last season, again, and that's a large reason why they brought in Bruce Arians as a head coach and Todd Bowles as their defensive coordinator. Remember, the Buccaneers fired defensive coordinator Mike Smith in the middle of the season. Dirk Cutter was fighting for his job. Cutter, now the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. Mitchell Trubisky threw 6 touchdown passes against the Buccaneers a season ago. And I don't see anyone anointing him as the next great quarterback of this league. It's a one-game sample size in what was an impressive debut for Daniel Jones. And that's just what I do not understand with what I've been seeing online in the aftermath of this weekend's Buccaneers-Giants game. And Matt Gay missing a 34-yard field goal. Bruce Arians mismanaging the clock at the end of the game yet again, taking a false start penalty in which he told media members after that they wanted a little bit more distance on the field goal, which makes no sense if you understand basic geometry. If you're in the middle of the field, like Winston did, he downed the ball in the middle of the field after the long completion to wide receiver Mike Evans, who had a great game. They down the ball in the middle of the field, and Matt Gay needs to make what should have been a 29-yard field goal. After the false start penalty, it's a 34-yard field goal. It was still very, very makeable. I want you to ask yourself this. Would you see the same things online and on social media and all these hot takes that Daniel Jones is already better than Baker Mayfield, or that he's already better than Sam Darnold, or whatever other young quarterback in the league, had the Giants lost that game if Matt Gay makes a 34-yard field goal? How would the narrative be different if the Buccaneers kicker executes and makes a very, very makeable field goal? Again, I don't want to discredit what Daniel Jones and the Giants did on Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but you need to understand the context of who the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are, and they are improved statistically through 3 games compared to where they were a season ago. But this is also a defense that allowed 6 touchdown passes from Mitchell Trubisky a season ago. And that's the truth. And that's the truth. And I don't understand why other people aren't pointing that out when they talk Daniel Jones. And he's a name. It's a storyline. And again, I think that stems from Baker Mayfield struggling in Cleveland and Sam Darnold having mono, of all things, as 2 young quarterbacks in this league that either aren't playing or that are struggling thus far. And I don't understand the infatuation with Daniel Jones. And I think he's going to be a little bit exposed moving forward as he plays stiffer competition. Again, they've got the Redskins next week. Then they've got the Minnesota Vikings, who are sitting at 2-1 right now. Redskins are 0-3, so the Giants might very well be able to win there. But then they go on the road against the New England Patriots in Foxborough. And I think then we are going to get a better idea with a larger sample size versus just this knee-jerk reaction where we want to crown Daniel Jones the king of New York. I just don't see it yet. I just don't see it yet. I'm not saying he can't potentially get there and that he won't warrant this being the 6th overall pick for the Giants, because we've seen this with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Not to put Daniel Jones and Patrick Mahomes on the same level, but if you're the Chiefs right now, think about this. You know, what trade? I don't think there's a trade out there that you would say you could offer the Chiefs 10 first-round draft picks, and I would probably still take Mahomes instead of those 10 draft picks. And so if Daniel Jones very well turns out to be, in the same mold, we'll see. And I think it's also going to be key that he won't have Saquon Barkley, who will be out for several weeks with an injury as well. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if he's able to replicate what he was able to do on the road as a 6.5-point underdog against the Buccaneers. But again, who knows if the Buccaneers are even really that good, given what we've seen from them as a franchise and organization. Again, my name is Mark Bergin. If you enjoyed this discussion, feel free to share it with others on your feed. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. All of you have a terrific rest of your Tuesdays.